Ever wondered what a Boeing 747 on steroids would look like? Well, imagine an airplane with 3 levels. Larger airplanes have a certain allure. The Boeing 747, with its massive wingspan, captured the attention of people all over the world, while the Airbus A380 cemented people's love of double-decker jets. But will the time ever come when we will see an aircraft with 3 decks? And what would it look like? In this video, we'll go over the specifics of the triple-decker architecture. What is a triple-deck aircraft? We should first define what a triple-decker plane is before discussing what is and is not achievable. In technical terms, an aircraft with 3 decks, each level designated for a distinct function, is said to be a triple-decker plane. Presently, the largest typical commercial aircraft are double-decker planes. They are made with 3 decks though. Classified as double-deckers, the Boeing 747 and Airbus A380 are triple-deckers when the cargo decks are taken into account. The bottom cargo deck can be equipped with comfortable seating and made habitable for passengers with a few minor modifications. This is the concept underlying Qantas's cargo class aircraft. To accommodate more customer amenities, Qantas has been considering sacrificing cargo space on their long-haul aircraft, which operate direct flights from Australia to Europe. Alternatively, the cargo area could be used to carry an additional large deck of economy passengers, increasing the maximum capacity of aircraft like the 747 and A380 to well over 1,000 people. When most people think of a triple-decker plane, this is what they think of. However, what if an actual 3-decker airplane was designed with a 4th cargo deck? Is there a triple-decker plane? As previously stated, the Airbus A380 and the Boeing 747 are theoretically 3-deckers when the cargo decks are included. The answer is no if you're referring to the new aircraft's reduced cargo capacity, which is likely done to make room for economy class passengers on the 3rd deck. Not yet, at least. In the aviation industry, there is a common misconception about the triple-decker plane. Although the concept of a 3-level passenger model has been proposed numerous times throughout the years, no such aircraft has ever been constructed. There has never been evidence to support the necessity for 3-level passenger aircraft, and given the possible disadvantages of this design, such as high expenditures and more difficult evacuation in the event of an emergency, it seems doubtful that we will ever see a triple-decker aircraft in the sky. The significance of the cargo room is another factor that has complicated the construction of a commercial airplane with 3 decks. There is less chance that a true 3-decker airplane will be able to carry as much cargo as double-decker aircraft. The belly holds of double-decker aircraft are made to accommodate as much cargo as feasible. This is significant because it makes it possible to use weight and space more effectively, which eventually leads to increased payload and the potential for maximum fuel efficiency. Additionally, because there is less disruption to the surrounding airflow, the double-decker structure promotes greater aerodynamic efficiency. This leads to reduced drag, which again improves fuel efficiency. In the end, the double-deck arrangement offers more capacity and improved efficiency, which benefits travelers as well as airlines. Because there is more room between the decks, airlines can give customers smoother travel. It should come as no surprise that a growing number of airlines are selecting double-deckers for their long-haul fleet. A 4th cargo deck in a passenger aircraft. Both Boeing and Airbus thought about producing larger aircraft than those now in service, but they also had to deal with the difficulty of marketing them in a competitive market where airlines automatically try to cut costs when demand declines, as it did during the most recent pandemic. However, the idea of a 4th deck in a passenger jet already exists, but not as a completely separate level within the aircraft. Rather, it functions more like a 4th cargo bay to boost the aircraft's payload capacity. With more people traveling by air and airlines searching for methods to maximize structural efficiency, the 4th cargo section on large passenger aircraft is becoming more common. These sections, which are often found in the aft part of the aeroplane, offer extra room for bulky or strangely shaped objects that don't fit in the main cargo hold. Additionally, the cargo capacity on a 4th section varies based on the aircraft size, although it usually amounts to about 10,000 pounds. Even though it might not seem like much, when moving big things like furniture or massive machinery, it can make a difference. To avoid paying for checked baggage, it can also be used to keep additional luggage. The fourth deck will probably become more prevalent as plane travel becomes more accessible, offering a crucial service to airlines and passengers alike. Removing that much room from a huge aircraft's deck can now be a disadvantage. Carriers' ancillary profits from cargo, which includes first-class and economy passenger bags, are substantial, therefore this will restrict their profitability. Of course, if a whole third deck was dedicated to that use, the number of passengers would increase, but airlines would need to focus more on attracting business-class travelers who are light load packers rather than regular customers who are heavy packers. Would it ever be built? Even though the engineering is not too complicated, all that needs to be done is to enlarge the aircraft and increase its internal space to make room for a middle deck. There are a few problems that could prevent the aircraft from ever being used. The cost of engineering comes first. A few years ago, Lockheed Martin created a unique delta wing aircraft that had enough room to accommodate more than 1,000 people. The issue was that to even successfully develop a prototype, Boeing and Airbus had to work together. The development of a triple-decker aircraft, which may be a completely new design, would likewise demand an enormous amount of money. Similarly, airports would have to foot the additional bill for extended terminals and large runways needed to accommodate these big planes. Similar to the A380, new gates would have to be constructed to enable the simultaneous boarding of up to 3 floors. However, the primary reason it has never been constructed and may never even make it past the design stage is that there isn't a viable commercial market for an aircraft this size. The hefty A380 has already lost its appeal to airlines, and the Boeing 747 is no longer being produced, at least not in the passenger version. We won't see such a beast of a machine unless there is a huge desire to transfer as many passengers as possible at once, instead of the same amount over a day with varying frequencies. Will there be an A390? Recently, there has been talk about Airbus switching from the super jumbo A380 to the larger A390. It is commonly recognized that there is a growing demand for passengers. While airlines can meet this need by expanding their flight schedule, doing so may also result in an increase in air traffic. This raises the possibility of using a larger aircraft that can accommodate more people as a solution once more. Naturally, this is not the first time that this has been taken into account. In 1996, Airbus had already explored a model called A2000 that could accommodate between 600 and 1,000 passengers. Economy class would occupy the top deck of the 3-decker aircraft, business class would occupy the middle deck with 3 aisles, and first class would occupy the lower deck, where beds would be available. But the project never got finished, and in the end the A380 took its place. Other bolder and more inventive endeavors, like the AWS Sky Whale and the Qantas cargo class aircraft, have come to light. However, every drawback identified by airports, airlines and manufacturers has turned out to be a formidable barrier. Not even the more traditional Deck 3 concept has made it into production. It is difficult to foresee what the future holds. With the current state of the engine, a beast like the Sky Whale would require so much fuel to move that no CEO of an airline would permit its operation. Though the Sky Whale is intended to run on hybrid engines, only time will tell if advancements in technology will make it possible for us to see one of these enormous machines flying through the skies in the near future. Will there be a triple-deck plane? What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like and share our contents. Hit the notification bell to get notified when we post new videos. Thank you for supporting this channel.